it's kind of came to a head the other day when I did a video with Destin on IGN. And he was asking me this question directly, and I said, well, you've got to start with a GPU that has the features of the PlayStation 5 Pro. And the closest equivalent at the moment, I would say, is the RTX 4070. What I should say is that the 4070, I believe, has more raw GPU performance than the PS5 Pro. I do think it's over 45% faster than the base PlayStation 5. So we're talking about a downclocked 4070.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. So, all this talk about the PS5 Pro being as powerful as a 4070, you know the dude that was saying, I was right, I was right, I was right? Well, it looks like I was right. Because I said there was no chance in that happening. Not only is the 4070, as Richard said, 45% minimum percent faster and more powerful, you have to underclock the 4070 from 2.6 gigahertz down to roughly 2 gigahertz to 2.1 gigahertz to maybe get a comparison between the two. It is nowhere near a 4070, maybe a 4060, maybe a 6800, but it ain't touching a 4070. Now the RDNA 4 features for ray tracing are pretty cool on paper, and that could actually, surpass what is there available with AMD right now. But AMD have already announced, FSR 4 and all of this stuff coming to their graphics cards with machine learning, so the days of those are already well beyond, and the seas have sailed to high heavens. But my God, does this actually change everything? It looks like all of those people, Jay Bari and the co, that actually turned around and said, the, the PS5 Pro native 4K 60 FPS, my dude. Let's switch over to the Twitter, because seeing as I've come back from the dead, well, so to speak, I might as well mock a few people. And as you can see here, we've got J-Rock went from games being native 4K to 800p upscaled for 700 plus real quick. You can't make this up. And you got Ryan down here saying it was never native 4K. Every PlayStation fan out there was saying native 4K 60, let's go, because they didn't really understand what the AI upscaler was. And it turns out Alan Wake 2 on the PS5 Pro runs at 850p. And that's less than medium, remember, on the Xbox, which was running at 900p. We're just about above sub levels. I mean, this ain't good. The age of upscalers has come in, and $700 for playing games sub HD, I think is a little steep, even for my taste. Don't get me wrong, it's pricey, but at least hit 1080p if you're gonna be able to, hit that level. It's like, come on. My God, and you got people damage controlling down here like crazy. I only care about performance boosting frame rate, so they're happy to play games at 240p. Nibs went off on one of his infamous tweets again before trying to calm down. You've got damage control here. The whole point of PSSR is to upscale. My dude, DLSS starts at 1080p at performance, and then goes to 1440p at quality. So that's, it set boundaries. It looks like PSSR doesn't have any boundaries. It's just going to go down and down. I mean, it can go down to 640p, 540p, 480p if it needs to, just to maintain that that FPS. That's crazy. So will we actually see benefits to games like from Unreal Engine 5? I don't think so. what's looking like right now is that we're going to basically see a bunch of games that are going to look pretty okay at 30 FPS locked. Maybe they might hit 40 FPS or 45, but 60 is a long gone conclusion. But hey, Jay Barry says the PS5 Pro is better than the 4070 because he knows better than Richard from Digital Foundry, and plus I've been saying all along that it is nowhere near. But hey, what can I say? There's a bunch of people out there, and outside of one person, I'm not going to name anyone else, but you probably know who I'm talking about, who was saying, I was right, stuff it, take it, you all owe me an apology because I was right, and it turns out he was wrong, and he's disappeared from Twitter real quick. But that's how it usually works, right? The arrogance is all over the place. You've got Oh No, It's Alex here. Did I really wake up to the PS5 Pro doing 862p resolution? No, it's 835p resolution. At least get it right. But apparently on PS5, Alan Wake 2 runs at 847p with FSR2 and 1270p with FSR. If PISA is closer to DLSS balanced, which it's not, which uses 835p for 1440p, it means at its reparative native 864p resolution, and on Pro, it could be getting... Now we've gone from it's going to be 4K resolution, folks, to it could be 1440p. We've gone from 4K 60 every game. PS5 Pro powerhouse, Superdog. This is it. This is the super station. To we're happy with 800p, man, because it could hit that resolution, and if it could hit that resolution, we'll be happy. So do you remember all those times that they were mocking Xbox when it was hitting 900p, 1100p, 1200p, and now they are hitting 800p. I had a video of J-Dub laughing at Xbox when they were at 900p. I just couldn't find it. But man, that came and bit him up the backside, didn't it? Poor J-Dub. Oh man. Oh, that's rough. But so much for 1440p. But of course, with PlayStation 5 Pro costing $700 and not being able to do 1080p, it's hitting 835p at 30 frames per second. Let's hear what Destin had to say, because I think he's onto something here. I really do, and I think him and Ryan McCaffrey know that they're onto something here. But the question is, will Xbox actually benefit, react to this and get out while the flame is hot and stop people from choosing the PlayStation 5 Pro? Let's have a look and see what they had to say.
This has set Xbox up from easy W. Release your handheld announcement anytime within the next year. It's going to be a huge W, because what could they cap that? Like, they could probably sell that for $499 and nobody's going to bat an eye because they have this $700 thing that right. PlayStation just announced. Do I think that the handle will be $499? No, I think it'll be more comparable to whatever the Steam Deck currently is priced at and give you different SKUs to go for. And then right. whenever they announce the next console, I bet that they were not targeting $699 for their price point. They were probably targeting $599 for their price point of the most powerful console ever. They just got $100 extra that they can throw into that thing to make it even stronger in terms of a value proposition for anybody who wants that experience. So I think this has set Xbox up for a W. I think them sitting out of the mid-gen refresh is going to result in a chance for them to regain their footing and see success.
Yeah, I'm with you, Destin. I think, I've said this before. I want to see the Xbox handheld become the Series S of the next generation. Mm-hmm. Have that be the quote unquote low end device where it's sold cheaper, but in this case, it offers you not just a more affordable way in, but also you can dock it to play on your TV or just take it with you and go. That,
as long as it's not on parity. God forbid, please not parity.
that would just be such a win for Xbox and the Xbox ecosystem, and especially with, paired with Game Pass. That is just going to be a great way to go. And I'm just taking a look here, Destin. So the base, because we're on the revision 2 of the Steam Deck.
And I agree, by the way, wholeheartedly agree with this. Now that PlayStation has come out with their eye-watering £700 console that doesn't even come with a disc drive. So if you want the full console, you have to pay £800 for it here in the UK. And I'm guessing similarly in the US after tax. That's crazy money for something that's going to run games at 800p. I can't even say that with a straight face. 800p at 30 frames. I don't even care if it's at 60 at this point. That resolution is muddy as hell. You cannot be happy with that. There's no way. Microsoft has a clear opportunity right now. We know that by the end of the year they're going to be talking about the handheld. I think they should really push that forward and look at Tokyo Game Show and say, do you know what? This is our opportunity to kind of unveil this thing and talk about it a little bit, because we know that especially the Eastern audience love their handheld gaming. This could be the perfect item if it's priced correctly. But they probably won't announce a price just yet, but if they have a release date and if they're ready, why not? That seems to be like the perfect opportunity to counteract everything that Sony is doing right now. This is like a golden opportunity. It's a golden goose egg that's just dropped onto their laps. But my God, outside of YouTubers, outside of reviewers, outside of people who actually need the PS5 Pro for their job, essentially, I'm really starting to struggle to see a reason to actually pick this up. I get it if you're a YouTuber and you do reviews, you do comparisons, like Destin for IGN and stuff like that, or you play the games and if you get review codes and you review the games as a YouTuber, I get it. That makes perfect sense because it's part of your job. But if you're getting one just as a standalone, this seems rough. Up to £800 for something that barely hits 1080p. You're looking at Alan Wake 2, which was arguably my game of the year last year, and that is sitting at a comfortable 800p for quality mode. That's pretty awful. Last year, I actually played Alan Wake through the Epic Game Store through GeForce Now, and I was playing at native 1440p, and it was glorious, I have to say. Absolutely glorious. And do you know how much it cost me? It cost me $16 that month to equivalents to play it. I'm paying roughly about 160 quid for GeForce Now for the year, and that gets upgraded from a 4080 to a 5080 to a 6080 year on year as it goes along. It's a free upgrade, and yeah, I'm getting amazing performance at a fraction of the cost. That's gotta hurt.
The base Steam Deck now is $400. Then there's a $500.
It's actually $349.99, but that's the original LCD one, which they're looking to discontinue, but it's still available to buy right now. And they're actually doing deals on that as well. It drops down to like $320 at times.
$150 version, which has an OLED screen.
If you scroll down,
gigs.
You can get a Steam Deck for $349. Sorry, Ryan. It's at the bottom.
Oh, right. The original. That's the version 1. Yeah. So they are phasing those out in fairness, but you're right. That is a new device that you can get right now for $350. Yeah, I think I would be hoping for $400 to $450, but.
And that's crazy, right? That is crazy. This is a golden opportunity for Microsoft to just step in and say, hey, look, this device that we've got is slightly more powerful than the Series S. We can do a bit more with it. It's got more RAM, so there's going to be no limitations at all, or excuses or anything like that from any company out there that wants to say that it's harder to develop for, because at that point all they need to do is downsample the graphics. The 16 gigabytes of memory will be plenty for any developer to work with, and at that point, if any developer does come out and say that there's problems and they're finding it difficult, it basically boils down to them being a crap developer. Because if you have the resources there, the rest should be fine. So even though the Series S is a great machine, I know a lot of developers are trying to pinpoint that and kind of scapegoat it to make it look like it's an issue. But hey, people were laughing at the Series S when it hit 700p. The PS5 Pro is hitting 830p. It's like 130p more for £500 more. It's gotta hurt. It does. It's gotta hurt. But you know what, folks? It is what it is. You've got a bunch of PlayStation fanboys and shareholders out there that are now trying to convince you that the PS5 Pro is great for a consumer. And like I said, if you're a YouTuber like myself, if you're a reviewer like myself, if you do comparisons like Destin and other people like ACG, SkillUp, the PS5 Pro just seems like a no-brainer because it's for your job. Plus you can get a tax write-off, right? So you're not actually paying that much for it anyway. But at the end of the day, $800 for a console with marginal performance and a CPU boost, it's not going to maintain that boost. So we're looking at a console that is basically a 3.5 gigahertz processor. It's the same as the PS5. It is going to have more limitations in terms of, it's going to be bottlenecked more than, say, the Series X, because the Series X can maintain 3.8 gigahertz full time. The PS5 Pro likely cannot, because it is a boost to 3.8, so it's going to do that in bursts. So maybe even games like GTA 6 might actually hit like 42, 43, 44 FPS on the Series X with VRR. That's going to knock it to 60 FPS. That is amazing, right? You're going to get 60 FPS on GTA 6, but with the PS5 Pro, that probably won't be possible because it's using the same processor. They really, really cocked that one up. They really did. They messed that one up hard. But you know what? At least they can game at 800p. That's all I've got to say. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion. But man, oh man, this is a golden opportunity for Xbox to step in and right the wrongs. Because it's not often Xbox can get a free win. And this is as free as they come. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to leave a like, hit that bell, stay up to date with all content I release, and don't forget to smash that red button. Thank you so much for the support from my previous video. We are very close to 7,200 subs. The dream is alive for 10,000 subs by the end of the year. Let's see if we can do it. Right, I'm out. Remain legend.